So this was captured by Kovair Obminibus and broadcasted to your Requisite Pro repository. So as an analyst, I can immediately see the requirement here, and the next thing that I need to do is to analyze this requirement and create functional requirements to implement this particular customer requirement. So what I would do is I would create a new requirement of type functional, and let's say give it a build Google like search. Okay. Okay. Let's put the same kind of description here, and I can change the attributes also. Let's put the priority for these also as high. So now let's set this particular functional requirement. Okay. So this is now set. I can go back to the customer requirement, double click it, and what I want to do is also I would like to link the new functional requirement that I created here to this customer requirement. So go to the traceability tab and select this functional requirement and link it. Okay. If I now go back to the functional requirement, you will see that the traceability is there from the from side. Okay. So as a requirement analyst, what I have done here is I can see the requirement and I can create the functional requirement, and I'm done here. But what is the advantage that Mark is getting here because of the Omnibus integration environment? So what is happening here is that he can see all the requirements captured automatically in Requisite Pro, and he does not need to deal with manual static imports. Data is real, and it can come from your marketing people's tool like Salesforce. It can be an help desk tool like Remedy, or portal by your customer directly, as it has happened right now. Okay, so no conflict of information, and all the tools are synchronized with the latest changes that I'm making in Requisite Pro. All the other requirement tools or test management tools are getting synchronized with these particular whatever changes or additions we are doing in this tool. Okay. Now I will go to another server. Okay, and we will open up HP Quality Center. Okay, so for our demo today, Ted is the test manager who is using the Quality Center tool to create the test cases. So if I now go to the requirements, so this is the interface for the Quality Center, and they have different objects like requirements, test plan, test resource, lab, defects, and stuff. So right now we are in the requirements tab, and you can see that both the requirements, this is the requirement that we submitted from the portal side, and this was the requirement Mark just created in Requisite Pro. Both the requirements are shown here, and if I open up, I can see the priority was high, as I said. The description is also here, so I can see the detail of it. Now, as a tester, what I need to do is need to create test cases. So I will go to Test Plan tab and create a new test case. So let's say check incremental search as type text, okay, and it is from QC, okay. So let's add that test case. Now the other thing that I would like to do is, what is this test case for? This test case is to test the requirements that I have just seen. So what I need to do is I need to create a traceability between the requirements and the test case. So let's select the requirement. So this is the customer requirement coming from the portal side, and this is the functional requirement coming from the Requisite Pro. So I have created the coverage now. Now if I now go back to the requirements and double click on the requirement and go to the test coverage, you will see that this new test case shows up there. Okay, and it should be the same from the functional requirement also. You should see the test coverage. Okay, so here also, what is the benefit that TED is having with the Omnibus integration environment? So he can see all the customer and functional requirements coming from different requirement management tool and create test case for those. He is working on the real data, and that is dynamic up to minute. It is not a static handoff. So if you do not have an environment like Kovair Omnibus, which is working in the back end to kind of moving data from one tool to another, that's why you can basically see the changes immediately into your tool. So let's say right now Mark changes something in the requirement in the Requisite Pro tool. As a tester, I would be notified and immediately get to see that change here within the Quality Center tool, and I can modify my test case as per the change. So that's the advantage I'm having here. It is not a static handoff between the requirement team and the testing team in the context of a static Word document. I'm having access to the real-time data, and as it is getting changed, I can see it and I can find out what would be the impact on the test cases and change it accordingly. Okay? So now I'm done with the Quality Center. Let's now get to the Visual Studio. Okay? Let's open up Visual Studio. So as Sky was mentioning that for some of the tools which are repository based, we have adapters. Like for Requisite Pro and Quality Center, we have adapters, Omnibus adapters. And for tools like Microsoft Visual Studio, Eclipse, we have plugins. And you can see here, this is the Visual Studio interface, and you see a special menu for Omnibus. And you can click on the connect, and Dave is the developer here, and he's logging into the system. Okay, so you can see that this is the Explorer interface, Omnibus Explorer, and you can get to see all the projects that you have access to. So the particular project we are working on is the new app development, and here you see all the artifacts, and these artifacts may be coming from different tools, like the requirements coming from Requisite Pro tool, the test cases coming from Quality Center, issues may be coming from a help desk tool like Remedy, and these the TFS is the TFS files, task may be your workflow task, the change set that may be coming from the subversion. So the different artifacts coming from different tools. So let's double click on the requirement, and it brings the requirement list. Okay, so if I now, so you see it shows up advanced search for products request from portal. So this is the requirement we just submitted from the portal side. And if I now open up the detail for this particular requirement, it should show me the details. So you see the title is there and different custom informations are there. Okay, and you can go see the description, attachment, comment, and things like that. So now if I go to the traceability section, you see these are the different links